Welcome to Haunted Homebodies, where Halloween isn't just a day, it's a lifestyle. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sarah, and we're your guides through the delightfully dark corners of comfort horror.
If you recall, I went to go see this at the Garden.
Ugh. Oh my gosh. I remembered earlier today, but I forgot since we sat down to record.
Oh my God. I will never do it again. Never again. Oh my gosh. It was like the sciatica in my back could remember.
Did they
was
just like have
is
the
this
same
where
old
it
seats?
started? Okay, so I didn't realize this because I go to like modern movie theaters now.
Yeah.
I'm such a snob. But you know, the stadium seating where it's like you're just up a step, right? Kind of thing.
Right.
No, it's just a little slope. And so the seats are just on a slope. So you're like pitched forward. And then you have these old, real grody seats, like visibly grody seats. Okay, so my back was immediately like, I hope this is a 90-minute sharp movie. It was not.
No.
It was not, unfortunately. And then I'm pretty sure this movie's rated R, right? It must be. It must be.
Oh my God, it must be.
There's no way it's not. Like, a group of what I can
Yeah.
only imagine were like 13-year-olds, and there were like, I don't know, 6+ of them all filtering in, and they just kept switching seats and talking and just laughing. And this one guy behind me at one point was like, "Hey, can y'all shut the fuck up?" Thanks. They did not shut the fuck up. And then a middle-aged mom in front of me eventually walked out and like got a staff member who scolded them, and they actually then were quiet.
Wow.
Which made me feel like they must have been like 13 or so. Like, at what age are you like still kind of scared of authority? Like, I feel like
you're
it's
like
not like
being
16.
a dick, but still,
Yes,
yeah,
you still are like, ooh, I got in trouble with the adults. They were still like a little obnoxious, but like we're at least not doing whatever change seats every 5 minutes running up and down. Yeah, it was so obnoxious.
I am really sorry you had that experience and really not surprised.
Yeah.
Listeners, for context, this is when we were growing up, there were like 2 movie theaters that you could drive to, and one was the much newer and much preferred movie theater, and one was the one that Ashley went to that my first ever high school boyfriend worked at. So I definitely spent some time in that theater, and like the building is really cool. It was an old like actual theater, and then they somehow like turned it into movie theaters, which probably explains the sloping floor in some
and like
way.
the weird setup. Yeah, like I walked right back in where you're supposed to buy the tickets, and the girl was like, "Hello, do you need a ticket?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry." I've been there in so long. I was like, I forgot how this place works. But then I was like, "Oh no, I like bought it online. I have it printed." And she's like, "We still have to scan it." And I was like, "Okay." Like, why are there so many angsty
all of this
tweens
sounds
in here?
like what they are doing is preserving the experience.
It literally, I
with.
know, it like made me uncomfortable because I was like, oh my God, I'm like 16 again, and like I don't want to be here. But it was okay other than that, and other than the movie. So let's talk
other than the movie.
I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't necessarily like it. I think if this was not a sequel to Ready or Not, which I loved, I would have maybe liked it as a standalone film.
I think I would have felt pretty mediocre about it either way.
Well,
I do think I feel disappointed in the fact that it was mediocre because the first one is perfection.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, and let's just do, before we go into any details, this is a spoiler-rich episode about Ready or Not 2. If you have not seen it yet and you would not like spoilers because you're still planning to go see it even after our lack of enthusiasm that we started sharing even in last week's episode, I wouldn't say don't see it, but anyway, don't listen to this episode if you don't want spoilers before you see it.
Yeah, and also, like, I think people maybe disagree with us, so let me read the
People on
ratings.
Rotten, yeah, they really disagree.
Yeah, so Ready or Not was released, just a few weeks ago on March 20th, 2026. It's currently rated 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which might be higher than the
No,
original.
it's the exact same as the
Same,
original, which,
okay.
like, excuse me?
Yeah, that's bizarre, and then on Rotten Tomatoes, we've got a 90% audience score and 73% for critics, so once again, we are aligned with the critics. Who are
Yeah.
we? Are we snobs now? Did that happen? Like, what's
Or
going
do we only
on?
like elevated horror?
No. You bite your tongue. You bite your tongue. We complained about The Shining in, like, just a couple weeks ago. We didn't
Thank
really complain about
you.
it. Oh, no, we didn't really
But
complain about it.
90% audience score, like, I would like to hear those opinions. I would like
Yeah.
to hear what people liked so much about it.
Okay, well, you clearly liked it less than me, so tell me your thoughts. Tell me your opening thoughts. Kind of like what did you dislike so much about it?
Okay, so last week's episode, we opened by talking about the amazing cast.
Yes.
This movie also has an excellent cast.
Yeah.
We have added Sarah Michelle Gellar as a villain, and I love Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I
She was really
especially
good.
love her as a villain. And we have Elijah Wood, who I
Oh,
adore.
good. I enjoyed him too.
But see, what I'm saying is, I love both of these people, and I felt they were wasted in this movie.
I don't know. I thought they were okay.
I felt like
Wasted in
Elijah Wood had like 3 lines and mostly just nodded and gave knowing looks.
he stood like this a lot
He did. He
or
did. He
something
had
like
it
that.
like
He had
his whatever it
more.
was.
I thought it
I don't
was an
remember what it was.
understated. He was there the whole time. He was the
Mm,
gamekeeper.
he was. He was. I felt like I wanted more from both of them. For
Yeah.
both of them. I wanted more for both of them.
Mm.
And I was disappointed in that. So that is my first gripe with this
Okay.
movie. What is your
All right.
first gripe with this movie?
I don't have like a list of gripes. I didn't like I said I didn't hate this movie. I, I just like didn't think that it was necessary to have a sequel, and then I thought the tone was like way off. This movie I felt like was trying to be funny and it just wasn't funny like the first one. And the story just seemed a little bit overcomplicated to me. Like I still found
Yes.
it kind of interesting and a little bit surprising, but it was just a little bit like, okay, like we've gone too far. But that being said, like I still did like parts of it. Like I think like you seem like you like really didn't like this movie. I just was like, oh, this wasn't a good sequel. Like we didn't need to do this. But like still like I'd probably watch this movie again. I thought it was pretty fun.
I'm gonna mostly pretend this movie doesn't exist, and the ending of the first movie is the perfect ending. I wouldn't have hated it that much if I didn't love the first one so much. I
Yeah.
totally agree that it was overcomplicated. I think one of the charms is the first one is that they do not over-explain the premise,
Yeah.
which, like, as you said, there were a lot of questions that came up, and then they answered those questions
Yeah.
in the first movie, but there wasn't, like, all this, like, exposition about, like,
Yes.
there's these 6 families, and they do this, and
There's a
there's
lot
this
of
big
lore.
book with all the rules, and there's the loopholes, and then there's
Yeah.
also
Like if
the
we
plot
didn't have
holes. There were so many
I know.
plot holes because they were over explaining things.
Yes, right, like, if we did not have Elijah Wood's character, like, we would have no idea what was going on, like, we needed him to info
Yes.
dump on us because it was so complicated and there was so much
Yes.
lore that we were trying to understand this very complicated game, but yes, I think some of the questions, were not answered. There were a couple though, like, at first I was like, "Why are you killing your dad?" Kids.
Yeah,
And why is he
and
like, "Why are you suffocating him with a pillow? Like, you're rich, you couldn't have found, like, a nice little, like, uh, drinky drink to go to sleep? Like, we gotta suffocate him with the crest family crested pillow."
which
Really?
also, like, okay, they explained it to us, but, like, did that need to happen? Like, could we not have started without him as a character in the first place?
I guess, yeah, that's
Well,
true.
just to
He
show
coulda
us
just
that Sarah Michelle Gellar and her terrible brother were bad people? Like,
well, because he was in charge, right? He had the ring,
okay.
so one of them would have had the ring if he was
I had
dead,
to give
or
it up.
someone else.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was fine. Like, I think
Mm,
they established him as the, like I kinda like the, like, he was, like, monitoring some, like, big happenings in the world and then, like, makes the call, and then you see, like, the instant change, and I don't know, I
mhm.
think it had a good, like, maybe too real feeling about, like, things that are going on in our country
Yeah,
of, like,
that's
white men in
fair.
charge vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and it kind of established some backstory with, like, Sarah Michelle Gellar and her brother and, like, the way that he treated the brother versus her and, like, their dynamic, and I liked at one
Mhm,
point, she slaps him across the face the same way the dad slaps him across the face, Titus, I'm talking about,
mhm.
and it just kind of has this, like they had I don't know, I thought they had an interesting relationship, and Titus was
Okay.
a good villain, he was a real POS.
He was. But going back to your
Titus.
comment on tone, so,
Mm,
like, I felt like it was both goofier in a way that didn't work, like I think you were saying, but also, like, got darker
yeah.
in ways I didn't necessarily need to see. I mean, there was, like, a
Yeah.
just a domestic violence undertone
Yes.
that I
When
wasn't
Titus is
didn't felt
beating
was
up
feels
the
necessary.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm gonna come back for you later." Yeah, he was like a real villain, not like a like a
Yes.
coked out sister villain from the first one where you're like,
Which,
"Oh,
like,
she is just a spoiled rich brat."
it's, like, making me reflect on the first movie that I said wasn't cozy, but, like, maybe what I find cozy about it is that I don't find the evilness in those humans to be relatable and realistic to, like, the real world. Maybe
Yes.
that's what I find cozy about the
They're
first
more
one, but
caricatures of, like, rich
yes.
people, and they also do have, like, likable, charming qualities
Yeah.
amongst the evilness. For the most
Mhm.
part, most of them have some
Mhm.
likability, whereas, like, Titus was just like, ugh. Sarah Michelle Gellar had a good balance, I think. She was definitely supposed to be the one that was, like, a little teetering, like, she was very evil kind of
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then you see her kinda struggle and be like, "Oh, maybe this is not what I want." Like, I never really believed that she was trying to do
No,
anything good.
that didn't feel earned, but it also
No.
didn't feel like a trick. I don't know. That felt
Yeah,
like a
that whole scene
strange
felt
arc.
completely unnecessary just to a way for
Yes.
Titus to kill her, I guess, which also was, like,
Yeah.
very dark. He just, like, breaks his sister's neck abruptly.
Yes.
Yeah. There were
Yeah.
some moments where I don't know, I think they relied on the sister dynamic completely for the humor, and
Yeah.
the sister I can't remember the actress's name, which is bad because 'cause I'm, like, about to kind of insult her, but,
Maybe I'll leave your
I
name out of it then. I won't tell
yeah.
you. Yeah.
I just didn't really like her performance. I've actually seen her in something else, and, like, I like her as an actress, but I don't know, I just didn't I thought her performance was a little uneven, which, like I said, is something I really appreciated about Ready or Not, was, like, the performances were very tight, and this one just
Mhm.
felt a little bit of, like, a I don't know, over the top, maybe? Like, trying
Yeah.
too hard vibe?
She was, like, mostly only goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. A little too much
Wasn't
angst, angsty sister, "Oh, you abandoned you know, like, that was like a we were it was shoved down our throats that, like, "You abandoned me"
so
thing.
much. Like, I just
We
don't
get
believe they're
it.
gonna stop and, like, really hash out those conversations
No.
in this setting.
And then something that really took me out maybe I do have a little small list of gripes, but something that really took me out of this movie, which it almost happened in the first one, but, like, I was able to, like, suspend my disbelief, was, like, how battered and bruised she was, and I am all about the, like, I have adrenaline, I'm tough as nails, I'm gonna keep fighting for my life. She has, like, what even is the pick that goes through her shoulder? And then she
I
holds a
don't
single
know.
napkin to it.
I know. And
And
actually,
not on the back, there was an exit wound.
she still has all of the injuries from the first movie because this
Yeah,
one takes place, what, like, 2 days later?
maybe, I don't know, she's had enough time for a bath and that's about it, like, maybe it's been weeks, I don't know, but also, she got shot through her hand in the first one, and then she's just fully has full functional use of her hand,
Mhm.
like, as a medical professional and a human being, like, I don't understand how we're just like, "Her hand is fine, it just has a small bandage, but, like, we're okay." Like, no, your hand would have been, like, cut off because I don't think they would have been able to salvage that, like, there was a hole
And,
in it.
like, I feel like it would have been so easy to set this movie, like, a year in the future, like, they just went and kidnapped her for all the same reasons, but then they,
Yes.
like I think they just wanted, like,
Her to wear that
one
dress again.
yes. Which again,
had
like,
that
they
same
coulda
outfit.
just put her in the dress again. They could have
They
been like,
made
"It's in the
her yeah.
bylaws."
Yes,
I don't
exactly. We had a
know.
lot of bylaws. It could have been like, "You
Yeah.
have to wear your wedding dress," and sorry that
If
it
you
was
were
already
gonna
so gross.
explain it already, like, just add
Or
it
they made a
in.
replica or something, like, "Hey, look at we made this
Yeah.
dyed replica for the night." Yeah, no, that I agree. I was actually thinking about that when the movie started, how rare that is to have a sequel be like a continuation of the story, like, from the next night. That's
Yeah.
actually what they did with Halloween 2, is it was like, what
Oh.
happened when Laurie went to the hospital after the events? And so it was just like a continuation of that night, which I think is an interesting idea in theory. It's just like, because then you could watch these 2 movies together, and it's just like one Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings sized watch instead of like 2 separate, experiences kind of, but it just doesn't work also because most of the time you have not written this fully fleshed out story start to finish. It's like you've written this one
Yes.
arguably perfect start to finish story, and then you've tried to
Mhm.
continue the story, and it's like because you didn't have that plan from the get-go, it ends up being like just kinda a little messy.
Yeah, lots of plot holes. So many plot
Yeah,
holes.
it was interesting. Yeah, it was a wild ride, I'll give it that.
It was. So, in the episode in the episode we did on the first movie,
Yeah.
we talked about the mansion being cozy, and I, like,
Yeah,
loved that enclosed setting, which also adds a reality to playing a game of hide and seek.
right.
What did you think of the massive casino, golf course, hotel, whatever else,
What's going on there?
compound setting that they had here?
I
Not a
had
leading
mixed
question, sorry.
No, I had mixed feelings because in a way I thought it was fun. It almost gave me like a Hunger Games vibe, this whole movie,
Mhm.
where it almost seemed like an arena, especially with like the different teams, the different players, and the sister tributes. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of that. And
Okay,
then there
yeah,
was the
yeah.
wall around the compound, and yeah, it just had this like gamekeeper vibe with Elijah
Mm.
Wood. He was watching everything, and then there's like the actual literal devil or Labelle or whoever this demon boy is, like, blowing up anyone who breaks the rules. So it gave me that vibe, which I thought was kind of fun. Um, I liked that it had that variety, but I think it could have still been, like, tighter. It was just too much. It was hard
Yeah.
to believe, and then they were relying on, like, all these cheats, which I was like, I thought this wasn't allowed. Like, we weren't allowed to be texting or watching the videos or
Mhm.
intercepting 911 calls. It just felt
Yeah,
like
and sometimes
that
they
was
weren't allowed,
right.
but
Yeah, that
sometimes
was
they were.
inconsistent. Yeah.
Yes,
So I didn't it
yeah.
was like could I think it had potential. I think the idea had potential there to be fun, but it was just like not fun, and then it definitely wasn't cozy like the first one. It didn't have this cozy mansion. It was just like a ugh. Like we were in what is that gross Trump place? In
Mar-a-Lago?
yeah, yeah, it was just like a
Yeah.
gross Jersey Trump vibe.
What you're describing as, like, using that setting in a fun way is reminding me of this movie from a few years ago called The Hunt, I think, where they, like, drop humans in and they're, like, literally hunting humans, but it's also, like, it's an excellent movie. It's so good. I'm gonna have to think back on it to see if it would be a podcast appropriate watch. No,
I
you've
think it
seen
was
it,
too
you don't
gross.
like it? Okay,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
yeah. But, like, what you're describing
But
is
maybe.
wanting it you just want that as, like, at, like, a young adult book version level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. Yeah,
Always. Yeah.
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 Do
I
you think
feel
we
like I
could watch
remember
The
a couple
Hunger
things from
Games for
that
the
just being like,
podcast?
"Ugh."
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do brutal too well. But
Yeah.
this movie, I have to say, I don't think I found a single part of it scary. I think there was like one little jump scare where I was
No.
like, "Ooh," where the
Mm-mm.
guy with like the mask, he like comes out at one point and I was like, "Oh," and that was like literally the one moment I
Yeah.
was scared the whole time. Which was kind of disappointing, and then the lack of humor was also disappointing. Yeah, I'm just, like, trying to even piece together because obviously I saw this hours ago, like, where
Yeah.
we started with, like, a hospital chase scene and then
Mhm.
ended with, like, we're in a cult devil lair that was, like, Cabin in the Woods-esque with the spinning
Yeah.
dial and the blood sacrifice. I have
Mhm.
to say, because here we are talking about the ending, we held out this far, it's me doing it this
Like
time.
20 minutes in, that's how we do.
I was like, "This goat better survive, and these 2 better walk out with the goat," and they did. So I will give the movie that. The
I
goat
did
survived.
love that they walked out with the
The
goat.
2 with the goat. I was like, "Okay, this ending's fine." I also did enjoy like, it caught me a little bit by surprise. Like, it goes down this really weird rabbit hole where she ends up marrying the guy, and I was like, "She's got a plan here, right?" And I didn't know what the plan was, and I totally forgot, like, yeah, she still is, like, capable and willing to kill people, so I did enjoy
Yeah.
that, like, I didn't see that
Mhm.
coming and then was like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
It
She got him, that
it
was
was
satisfying.
another satisfying ending. It
It
totally
was. They
was.
brought it back.
It was, like, absolutely good for her because you, like, think she's been, like, forced into this marriage, and then he, like, kisses her against her will,
Eh,
which I think, like, insinuates other things, but then she
yes.
gets him, and that is satisfying, and also, while we were talking about the ending, I know that literally in the last episode, I made you tell me that her outfit in that movie was the most iconic.
Mm.
However, her wedding
Oh,
outfit here,
so good.
oh my god.
She looked incredible. Also that she, like, had no single bruises on her face. Like, this is the thing, like
Neither her sister barely had bruises. She could have died from the beating she took.
there were so many there was at least one other time in this movie where they just were, like, fresh-faced again, and I was like, "Wait a second, like, how is she
Mhm.
clean again?" Like, what
Mhm.
did they go, like, freshen up in the bathroom while they're fleeing for their life?
They both looked, like, phenomenal at the wedding. But yes,
Yeah.
that dress, the crown,
Oh, it was
the
so
veil,
good.
all
The
in
costume
black.
design, yeah, she looked
Ugh.
incredible. She was yeah, she
Yes.
had one little cute little scratch on her
Yep,
cheek.
that was it. That was it,
She
that
also
they had put blush over. It was like an open wound,
yes.
but they put blush over it.
They established at the beginning of the movie that she died, like, she flatlined, and they had to,
Oh,
like, shock
right.
her heart, and they also said yeah, flatlined from extreme shock, and then they
Yeah.
had to, like, repeatedly, shock her to revive her, and
Yes.
yeah, so that was also, like I need to know, I'm like, "Was this 3 days later? Was this 2 days later?" Like, this must have been, like, 3 months later because, like, how? Also,
I know, I think it was days. You said she was bathed. She was not. She still had blood in her hair.
she was, like,
I think this was
cleaner.
days later.
I can't even because then also the police is like, "Okay, you gotta come down to the station with me." Sir, you can't just take someone out of the
I know.
hospital. Like,
Also,
what?
like, you can question someone in the hospital.
These are, like, the kind of, like, sequels where I'm like, "Did we just, like, give up?" Like, the writing was, like, so tight on the
Right.
first one, and I'm like, "You had something here, and, like, if you're gonna do it, just, like, don't I don't know, don't be
You
doing us like that
also
where you think we're just not paying attention anymore?"
it also there wasn't, like, this pressure to get this done super fast to get a
That's
movie
yeah,
out the
it's been
next year. It
years.
has been 7 years.
No. Oh my gosh, that's
7 years. You couldn't
okay,
have done
well
better.
one thing that I will say is, like, sometimes when they do this where it's, like, the next night and it's been, like, it'd be like a Stranger Things timeline where it's, like, 12 we gotta do a
Mhm.
rewrite because the kids have aged. Samara Weaving looked, like, just as incredible as,
She
like,
did.
this she looked like no time
Absolutely.
has passed, so 7 years,
Yes.
that's incredible, good for her. No one else
Yes.
had to worry about it because they
Good
were
for
all dead.
her. It's our
Good for
theme.
her.
Good
There
for
you
her.
go. She looked great. And she was still great. I will say that was a bright spot.
Yes.
I had no
Absolutely.
complaints about her
Nope, none.
performance. Her
Mm-mm.
character was, like, pretty consistent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that that was fine. The sister thing, like, I'm glad they had a happy ending together, and I'm glad that it was, like, a happy sister ending.
Yes,
I
that
thought
is nice.
the scored ex-fiancé was kinda funny, like, I think some of
She was
the side
funny. She
villains
was
were
funny.
funny,
Yeah,
like, when
I
she had,
enjoyed
like, the
her.
bazooka and it, like, went backwards and, like, then their whole, like, fight scene where they had, maced each other, that was pretty
Yeah.
funny, and they couldn't
And
see.
it got, like, a little goofy at the
Yeah,
end, but
yeah,
yes, but, like, she was good comedic relief, yeah.
yes, like, that was one of the only times where it was, like, when it had a really funny cut where we didn't know that that was happening, and it cuts to
Yeah.
them, and they're both just, like, swinging. can't see. But yeah, then it went on for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was too much, but
I also like the guy who, like, signed it away to his wife, and
yes.
then that's the other guy who was last week I was, talking about all of the amazing Canadian actors that are in this from Canadian shows that I know. He was, also on Winona Earp.
Oh, wow, yeah,
Yeah.
there must have be some connection there, that's
Yeah.
just too
Yeah.
random, but
She's
also I didn't
Canadian.
understand why the wife could leave and didn't have to play.
Plot hole, Ashley.
That's what I'm saying,
So
like,
many
why did they
plot
not all
holes.
explode? Like, I thought you had to play, but you don't, I guess? Maybe I guess you don't have to play, but you just assume that they all want to play because if you win, you get world domination, but I guess entry was still voluntary. It's just they all wanted to because they all wanted to win. But yeah. Yeah, this is what I mean, where, like, we're getting too in the weeds here, like, if this is
Yes,
the
because they
conversation we
gave
have
us
to
too
have,
much. Yes.
it's too confusing when we have, like, a whole
Mhm.
playbook and, like you said, loopholes, and we need a lawyer to explain it. Also, was Elijah Wood's character, was he the lawyer for whatever the fancy family, Sarah Michelle Gellar's family, or
The
was he the lawyer
Danforths.
the lawyer for the LaBelle? Because it
I
kinda seemed like he was
believe
LaBelle's
I
lawyer.
believe he's LaBelle's lawyer. Yes.
Okay, and that's why he didn't
Yes.
die. Yeah,
Yes.
which is kinda fascinating. I don't know why, but, like, LaBelle also gave me, like, Lucifer vibes. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I have never seen that show, but
It's
that
kinda
feels
just
right to me.
yeah, like, making
Yeah.
the devil like a likable guy, like, he helps like,
Mm.
he comes to Earth and helps this detective solve crimes. Like,
Oh.
he's not
Oh,
just like he's, like, trying to wrangle the bad guys down to hell,
oh,
basically,
okay,
not and
sure.
torture them. When you think about the
Sure.
devil in that way of, like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to torture people who did bad things, you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Yeah, man, do it
Cool.
up, do it
Keep
up,
it up.
keep it
Well,
coming."
okay, but I wanted to talk about Mr. LaBelle because I'm also
Yeah.
confused about this. So, like, at the end of the first movie, he gives her this, like, very approving nod that, like,
Yes,
she's
yes,
beaten them.
yes.
So, like, is that what he wanted? Like, why is he making these deals with people where they have to sacrifice humans to him if he wants them to be like, I don't because then I got that vibe at the end of this one too, that he was like, "Good
Yeah.
job. Everything I've ever worked to create has been destroyed." I don't get it.
Well, I think you're maybe underestimating him. Like, I think, like, humans are probably, like, his little play toys. Like, he just wants a good show,
Okay.
and she
It's a
gave him a good
game, it's a
show.
game.
Exactly. So, like,
Mm,
he chose that
okay,
card to be for her because he's like, "She's got a
okay,
chance to actually do something here." Like, he'll
okay,
find some other people that will sell their soul to him, no problem. They can build more
okay.
empires. Like, that'll never go away. He'll
Yeah,
always have the power and the people,
okay.
and they're never in short supply.
This
So I'm
sounds
with
like
him. He's
sounds
just
like
playing.
some Greek mythology shit. Just
Yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah,
with the
we're just
humans.
yeah, we're like his little, like,
Okay. Sure.
okay, like, pulling the strings, being like, "You go over
Okay.
here, you do something fun over here," where
Yeah.
he doesn't like any of these people, like, he
Yeah.
probably loved watching them all
Okay.
get theirs.
Okay.
That's my
So
thought, at least.
who's the major power in the world now that all these people have died? See, I felt like that was an overreach. I liked,
Yeah,
like, a family that was really rich because they made a deal with the devil. I didn't like
having
power over
ultimate
literally
power.
yeah, that was felt
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose for just, like, again, conversations
Yeah.
happening in the US
Yeah.
right now, and the general feeling, which it does feel a little bit like
Mhm.
that, but yeah, it didn't have to be, like, all power, like, maybe just governmental power, right? Like, you're actually in
Yeah.
charge of the government or something. Yeah, I don't even know what
Yeah.
that means, ultimate power, like, what does that mean?
I
Like, you
don't
have
know.
ultimate power and you just have, like, a nice resort, like, wouldn't you just not work at all? Why would you still run a business? Anyway.
People make different decisions than we do,
I
Ashley.
guess. You're just like, "You know what? I have ultimate power, and I just wanna have, annoying rich people gamble at my casino."
Yeah, that's and also, okay. This is probably the last gripe that I will share slash plot hole, but the fact that the father, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Titus's father, had trained them since they were children to be ready to go hunt another human, but
Yeah,
had not properly scoured all of the documents to tell them about the marriage loophole,
I know.
that
Also, like,
feels
train them for what? Like, they weren't that great. Like,
No,
Samara
they were,
Weaving
like,
was,
pretty
like had
bad.
significant blood loss and, like, outwitted them and, like,
Mhm.
outlasted them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
not
it was a tough movie. I still will say, like, I've seen far worse movies, and I did find it, like, entertaining in some ways, I don't think it was a
okay.
completely unredeemable movie, like, it still was kinda fun for me. I had a decent
Okay.
time.
If it was I will probably watch it again because Evan loves Ready or Not, and so I
Mm.
will watch it with him, and I will probably not be miserable watching it, but I would not actively choose to watch it for myself in the future.
I'd watch it again, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But once I watch it again, then I get to pretend that Ready or Not 1 ends where it does perfectly, and she gets to go live her
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I know. I just try to separate them,
Yeah, yeah, that's
which
what
is
I'm
not at
saying,
all
I
what you're
will
supposed
do
to
that.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Just
saying I'm gonna be
pretend.
very good at that.
Could you imagine if this was, like, a standalone movie? Like, if there was no Ready or Not, and this was just, like, a movie? Because it could have been, right? There really was nothing
It's
about the
not
first
really
one.
related, yeah.
No. Like you said, went into this whole depth of, like, the different lore and this whole game, and yeah, it was trying to be like, do you know what it kinda reminded me of is, like a book adaptation, but, like, you know how usually the book adaptations will just, like, smooth things out to make it movie friendly? But, like, if it didn't do that,
Yes.
just
Yeah,
tried to, like, do
yes.
everything that the book did, or just like, "I'm just gonna explain all this stuff, and then we're gonna go in all these crazy different directions, and we're gonna film all these scenes that don't really make sense."
Like, they needed a script editor,
Yeah, I don't know
perhaps.
how some of these
Yeah.
things squeaked through, but, I mean, people liked it. This seems like relatively positively received.
90%,
Yeah.
90%. We're, like, several weeks into it, so it's not just, like, the major fans who
It's
saw
not
it
that
opening
bad.
weekend.
It's
Mm,
not that bad,
mm.
Sarah.
Agree to disagree, Ashley. All right, I have one last question for you before you can pose your cozy question,
Okay.
which is, do we think the franchise has to, like, for real end now? They, like, made a point of, like, these are the people in ultimate power in the world. Like, what else could possibly happen here?
Oh god, I hope they don't do more. I
Me
this is
too.
Yeah, I really hope not. Um, this just doesn't seem like a franchise kind of movie. Like, also, like,
No.
how many more times can we, like, put this this girl through this kind of
You know
thing?
what they should have done? This idea
Mm.
has just occurred to me. They should, which is a struggle because I'm gonna suggest doing one without Samara Weaving, but they should have like taken this concept and done it with another one of these families and done it as a different game.
Oh, that would be
Some
cool.
other game that she has to
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, there was a way less complicated way to to do something different here.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this was, like, the same story, but, like, a way more complicated plot, if you think about
Mhm.
it. Boiled down, she
Mhm.
just had to survive till dawn. The premise is still the same, right?
Exact same.
But
Yeah.
it was just, like, a million times more complicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your idea. That's a good one.
Thank
I don't
you.
think I'm really gonna ask my cozy question because I don't think you have anything cozy to say about it. And I don't think I have any, like, cozy characters. I guess, like, Elijah Wood, he was a little bit cozy and
He was
comforting to
kinda
me.
cozy. Yeah,
Yeah, I liked
alright.
him, and he was so even-keeled, like, he really was
Yeah.
a good lawyer, like, he wasn't evil, like,
Mhm.
he was just doing his job and not even in that, like, deranged of a way. He just was like, "You just have
Yeah.
to do this, just going by the books, nothing
Yeah.
extra."
Mhm.
So he was a little cozy. And, I also mentioned too that I did not find this movie scary in the least
No, it is
bit.
not. This is not
One
a
teeny
scary
tiny jump
movie.
scare,
Yeah.
otherwise just like a very silly romp. Very
Yes.
interesting movie. I will say it was, like nothing I've ever seen. It really went to a lot of places I wasn't expecting, so I'll give it that.
The rescuing the goat was cozy.
The end was good. I think we can agree on we'll
Yes.
end on a nice little
Yeah,
agreement.
it was satisfying, it was cute, it was funny.
It was good. Even, like, the
Yeah.
silly, like, fight for the ring and then them all exploding, even
Yeah.
that was good. Like, the end was good. It, like,
Yes.
went, like, off the rails, and then they did bring it back, and then I feel like a lot
Yes.
of people who aren't maybe podcasting and analyzing the movie would maybe just, like, be like, "Oh, well, the end was good," and then you leave with that good feeling, and you're like, "It was a
Yeah.
good movie."
Yeah.
The
Yeah. It's
beginning wasn't too
true.
bad, the end wasn't too bad, the middle was, like, muddy as heck.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you let go of all that, solid, solid movie.
It's
If you just
fine.
really edited that down, not too bad.
Yes. Yes. Alright. Alright.
Maybe 1 less family or 2 less families. Like, we just didn't need like, there was just, like, too much going on,
Need to,
too
like,
many characters.
lower the stakes a
Yes.
little.
Too
Yeah.
many, like, "Oh, and now the daughter's going in, and now the son is signing in," and
Yes.
now it's like, "Alright." Yeah.
Yeah. Too
Too much.
much, too many
You did too much.
characters, not fleshed out characters like in the first one.
Yeah.
Like, basically none of the villains were fully fleshed out.
No, they're all very shallow. Just like the
Yeah.
one scorned fiance who was funny, and that was about it.
Yeah. I liked her. She was great.
She was good, see? There you go. You just
There we
needed, like,
go.
to have actual character development. Go figure.
Weird. What a novel idea.
Oh,
Novel
yeah.
idea. All right. Ashley, what are we talking about next week?
Oh, we are going to continue our Good for Her theme with a movie that you have not seen, and I've only seen maybe once, maybe twice. I don't remember if it's
Oh.
cozy at all. I think you'll find it a little bit scary, but it's called Your
Okay.
Next, and this would be like the next in line of if you're like Googling like what's a Good for Her horror movie. It could be Ready or Not, and then you probably would see Your Next right up there too. So it'll be a fun watch, I think. So I'm excited.
Can't wait. I'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of Haunted Homebodies. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And remember, when in doubt, just stay home.